We don't think about it that often, but game characters make all the difference to a game, and if your character looks like a child's drawing, then it just doesn't feel quite as good. You only have to look at Sonic the Hedgehog or Mario to see what impact a character can make. So I've looked through the Mega Drive library and tried to pick out some characters that just can't compete. Here are 6 worst characters on the Sega Mega Drive, in my opinion. Pac-Man. Now I don't mean the classic pellet-eating sprite. Pac-Man is legendary. I mean this stinking pile of shit. Making whatever Pac-Man is meant to be into an anthropomorphic character is just stupid. Just look at this shit. Pac-Man should have been left alone. It's a classic arcade character that everyone knows, and he doesn't belong in any other setting apart from a maze. It'd be like adding legs to Rattle and Roll and shoving them into a platform game. Not only does it look bad, it also looks cheap and reminds me of Fantastic Dizzy. And don't get me started with that knobhead. Shaquille O'Neal. Now I know this isn't a made up character, but this is just a joke. A bit like Pac-Man. Why stick a character in something that just doesn't suit? Shaq belongs in basketball and that's the end of it. Put him in a fighting game was pointless. If you've ever seen the movie Steel, then you know where I'm going with this. Shaq Fu was a shit game that just picked a sports personality who was popular at the time and shoved him into a game that hopefully would sell because of his name. It had mixed reviews on release, and some Muppets thought it'd be a great idea to do a re-release on modern consoles. Whether or not it's a good game is not something I'd know about. But why? Bubsy. Of course I was going to put Bubsy in here. The concept of Bubsy is absolutely fine. I actually like the idea, but the execution was terrible. It's not the way he looks that makes him shit, it's everything he does. Attitude was what the 90s was all about. If you were too young or didn't exist in the 90s, then you won't fully understand. Wrestling was huge because of Attitude, and lots of other stuff took advantage of it. Some still hold up today, especially wrestling, whereas most other stuff is now considered cringy or a stereotype. Bubsy spouted lines that make your tits curl, and people of North America would have received a small comic book with their purchase of Encounters of the Third Kind. If you read this, then this is the cringe side of that era. His cocky attitude and hopes to be the new Sonic series of games fell flat on its face, with some of the worst mechanics and designs a game could possibly cram in, followed by dreadful sequels. They should have stopped, but there's more. The Woolies Strike Back was released in 2017 in the hope that Bubsy can make a comeback. Let's be fair, you can't resuscitate a corpse. Izzy's quest for the Olympic rings. More money grabbing attempts here with Izzy. I don't think anyone knows what it's meant to be. All I know, it was the mascot for 1996 Atlanta Olympics. So why not make a game based on this mascot?
How about new?
It's a platform game where you collect Olympic rings. I don't care for the story, so I'm not going to get into that. This character looks like a damsel that's just had a stroke. As a mascot, it's perfectly fine. Merchandise the hell out of it for the events with badges, t-shirts and figurines, but not a video game. It lacks everything and just becomes forgettable. If you're in the UK, do you remember this game coming out? Or did you even know it existed? Chester the Cheetah. Another Attitude Era character, and sunglasses made you cool. We had limited edition Smarties with glasses, Kid Chameleon had them, and Corey Feldman, but they were probably just to hide his dilated pupils. Chester is the mascot for Cheetos, and that's it. A common thing again in the 90s. 7-Up did it with Cool Spot, and also wore glasses. And Fido Dido. The character just oozes bell end, making sure you knew he was cool. However, he isn't cool at all. He's shit and annoying, and his games are horseshit too. It's bad enough having an overhyped character, but then having the character dropped into a poorly made game just finishes this fucker off. Awesome Possum. If you're not sick of all the coolness so far, here's some more. Awesome Possum is simply a possum. Who isn't awesome? He's a probably my most hated character of all time. Cashing in on the anthropomorphic animal idea, it's another platform game that hopes to rival Sonic. Just looking at the cover, I'd probably like the look of this in the day. But the problem here is the attitude again. If you think that someone is cool, then that's fine. If you think someone is awesome, that's fine. If you call yourself awesome, you're a twat.
I'm awesome!
Think of it this way, if you passed someone and they shouted, "I'm awesome," you wouldn't say, "You know what, you are awesome." It's narcissistic, and I loathe people like that. And a game character that thinks he's the shit is really just a piece of shit. The game is crap too, but thankfully Europe didn't see a release.
Now you've got it, done it.
Thanks for watching. If for some strange reason you like my videos, please consider subscribing so I don't feel so unpopular. Do you know what I mean?